Okay, I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for coming out. This is the kickoff press conference for the 12-round middleweight battle between Mexican star Jaime Munguia and Irish contender Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Golden Boy will kick off the year 2020 with a huge fight here at the Alamodome, and it will be streamed live on DAZN. Jaime Munguia is developing into a huge star, not only in the sport of boxing, but in Mexico as one of the top athletes. And we're bringing him here to Texas for the second time. He fought last January in Houston, and now we're bringing him to the historic Alamodome. So we're very excited about that. It's a new division for Jaime Munguia, as he vacated his title, moved up in weight to middleweight, and he wants to challenge all the big champions, all the big boys at middleweight. Canelo, Golovkin, all the top champions at middleweight. So it's going to be a very exciting time for him. And it all starts with Spike O'Sullivan, who is a very, very tough customer himself. And he wants to upset Munguia and prove that he belongs. This fight will be a classic Mexico versus Ireland war, much like when Eric Morales faced Wayne McCullough in an epic battle back in 1999. Who better to guide Munguia in this war than Eric Morales himself, who's Munguia's new trainer. This fight, presented by Golden Boy and associated with Sanford Promotions and Murphy Boxing. We want to thank our partners at Sanford who helped put this fight together. We've been great partners. They're the promoters for Jaime Munguia. And also Murphy's Boxing, who we co-promote Gary O'Sullivan. So we want to thank everybody at Murphy Boxing for making this possible. The tickets for Munguia O'Sullivan went on sale this morning. They're priced as low as $25 and as high for ringside as $200. They can be purchased online at Ticketmaster.com, or you can go on the phone and dial 1-800-745-3000. Tickets will also be available at the Alamodome box office. Make sure you get them there. And if you're not able to see it live, you can always watch it on DAZN just by downloading the DAZN app. Before I introduce the participants, I want to thank our sponsor, Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, for continued support in the sport of boxing. And now I want to bring up a few people to say a few words up to the dais. The first person I want to bring up has always been good to us here in Texas. The main reason we're able to put these big shows together. And I want to introduce Greg Alvarez, combative sports manager here in the state of Texas. Greg?
Thank you. It's a pleasure again to be working with Golden Boy here in Texas. I mean, they always bring us some of the top shows in the country. And when they called me the other day and said, hey, we want to bring Munguia to fight in Texas, and I said, who's you going to fight? They said, we're going to let you know. Well, when they let me know, I looked them up and I saw some videos. You know what? I'm just going to be in for a fight on this fight. You know, it's going to be a hard fight. Everybody thinks, Sullivan, just his mustache does the talking. No, Sullivan can fight. So it's going to be an exciting fight. I'm glad that they brought another big fight to Texas, because that's the way we like to have the big fights here in Texas. So I just want to thank you, Eric, for having me here again.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you very much. The Alamodome is a legendary venue for boxing here in San Antonio. The following historic fights took place here. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Pernell Whitaker. Oscar De La Hoya versus David Kamau. Marco Antonio Barrera versus Manny Pacquiao. Canelo Alvarez versus Austin Trout. And this is no different. This fight is going to be a great fight. I'm excited about the kickoff of the new year because these guys are going to put on a show for you guys, just based on the styles. They're both very aggressive fighters, so I think it's going to go down as one of the historic fights here at the Alamodome. But I wanted to introduce this next person to come up and say a few words, who is very much familiar with the history here at the Alamodome, Mr. Steven Zito. He's the Alamodome General Manager. Steven?
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to the Alamodome. We are truly honored and pleased to be working with Golden Boy Promotions again in bringing this great match to the city of San Antonio. Throughout the years, we've partnered with Golden Boy on numerous matches. The Alamodome is thrilled to once again be at the forefront by hosting Jaime Munguia, an emerging superstar in the world of boxing. As we've seen with Golden Boy Promotions' previous fights, San Antonio is passionate about boxing, and we know the fans will be excited about this match. Thank you to Golden Boy Promotions. Thanksgiving blessings to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Before I bring up the main event participants, there's a few fighters that I want to mention to you that will be fighting on the card. We have two kids that are from San Antonio. They're not here. The first one's Joshua Frankel, great record, 15-1. He's the WBA international champion, NABF bantamweight champion as well. He'll be fighting in a 10-round bout. And Hector Tanajara, undefeated, 18-0. Hector, very good fighter out of San Antonio, one of our top prospects, great amateur background. And so we're looking forward to having both these San Antonio fighters fight on January 11th. The next kid I'm going to bring up is here, and he'll tell you a little bit about his fight. He's got a very good record starting off at 3-0. He's one of our top prospects. We're looking for great things out of Tristan, and I'll have him come up and say a few words. Tristan Kalkruth. Tristan, come on up.
Good afternoon, everybody. For most of y'all that don't know me, I was the recently signed 17-year-old prospect signed with Golden Boy. I'm 3-0, 2 knockouts. My last fight was on the Canelo Alvarez versus Kovalev card, and first I had to give my gratitude to Golden Boy and the Golden Boy team. You know, I'm happy to be here. I say a couple months ago or last year, I was watching Jaime Munguia in the stages. And for me to now be fighting on the undercard is awesome. You know, that now like this stadium is probably bigger than the MGM Grand, so it's going to be an awesome night. I could showcase my ability, and you know, all glory to God. Thank you.
Tristan's from the Dallas, Texas area, Duncanville, right? That's his hometown. So, very exciting fighter. We're looking for great things. He's only 18 years old. Big boy. Okay, he just turned 18, actually. He just turned 18. Now to the main event participants. Again, just like Greg Alvarez said, this is a real fight. This is going to be a big test for Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia is moving up now to middleweight. He wants to challenge the big guys. But he's got a tough customer in front of him, a very tough customer. And nobody knows him better than his trainer and manager, Packy Collins. And I'll bring him up to say a few words. Packy?
This one? Yep. Okay. First, I'd like to thank Golden Boy Promotions for the opportunity, Murphy Boxing. Eric Gomez spoke to me a year ago and he said, you know, Spike came off a loss to David Lemieux in Las Vegas, and a lot of people will judge Spike's career on that loss, but they shouldn't, because you know, anybody who knows boxing, anybody who was a fighter, you can get caught with that shock hold early on against a guy who's 20 pounds heavier than you. You will go down. I spoke to Eric not long after that fight, and he said, no. He said Spike's going to be back in there again. 2 fights later, he kept his word. So I just want to thank Eric for this opportunity. You know, Jaime Munguia, we've been watching Jaime closely for the last while because, you know, Spike did, after the David Lemieux fight, decide we're going to move back down to junior middleweight. The target we'd be looking for would be Jaime Munguia. You know, the fact that he's with Golden Boy, that fight would be easy to make. Then he fights Dennis Hogan, who's a friend of me and Spike. He's a former sparring partner of Spike. And Dennis pushed him close. And, you know, if the fight wasn't in Mexico, if Jamie wasn't the champ, maybe Dennis would have got the decision that night. But what it did do, it showed some flaws in Jaime Munguia. I'm not going to sit here and trash talk, because Jamie is a young fighter. You know, for a guy his age to have so many fights at world level, you know, it's mind-boggling. But what Jamie shows me is that he's strong. You know, he's very fit when he fights. He comes forward. He loves a tear-up. And you know, I'm not just Spike's manager, I'm his trainer too. So for a trainer, it kind of makes it easier to come up with the tactics to fight someone like Jamie. You know, like I say, I want to thank everybody for this opportunity. I want to thank, I'm looking forward for Spike to fight here in San Antonio. You know, we've got a great connection. Irish people have a great connection with the Alamo. I think like a quarter of the Texans that fought were of Irish descent. So, you know, it's like a homecoming for Spike too. But thank you to DAZN, and thank you for the people. And I'll get Spike ready, don't worry. He'll put on a really good show. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. For most of you who, or some of you who haven't seen Gary O'Sullivan, you're in for a treat. He's got a very exciting style of fighting. The first time I saw him, I fell in love with the style. You know, he's a clean puncher, very aggressive, but he can also box when he needs to box. This is going to be a real test for Jaime Munguia. And you know, my late great teacher in boxing, Don Chargan, used to tell me, Eric, you know, the path to greatness for a fighter doesn't really start till they lose. And Gary O'Sullivan knows what that feels like. And I think it's brought the hunger back in him. He's very excited for this fight. And he's got a tremendous, tremendous opportunity in front of him here, if he can pull it off. He's got a great record, 30-3, 21 knockouts, and really looking forward to this fight. So I want to bring him up now, the challenger, Gary O'Sullivan. Gary?
Wow, what a stadium. It's an honor to be here in the Alamo. Thank you very much to everybody, all the staff here at the Alamo, for making this event possible. Golden Boy Promotions, DAZN, Murphy's Boxing, Team Munguia. Thank you all for making this wonderful occasion. I'm really excited about this. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Jaime Munguia, he's a great fighter. I'm very motivated by this challenge. He's a young world champion, undefeated. For me, this is the stuff of dreams, to come to his own backyard and fight the undefeated champion of the world. I've never felt more motivated in my whole career. And I look forward to putting on a show on January 11th. I'm going to prepare very hard for this fight, harder than ever. And come January 11th, I'll be ready for war. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, the winner of this fight is really going to be in a great position in the middleweight division. The winner of this fight can very easily fight Canelo. They can very easily fight Triple G, all the top champions, Demetrius Andrade. That's how important this fight is. It really is. It's an important fight, and Gary knows what a blessing this opportunity is, and I'm sure that he's going to come in with everything. So next, the next guy I want to come up really doesn't need too much introduction. He's a legendary fighter out of Mexico, Hall of Famer, and one of the best champions ever to come out of Mexico, one of my favorites. And he's now the trainer for Jaime Munguia, and that's Eric Morales. Eric?
Muy buenas tardes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Para mí es un gran honor estar entrenando con Jaime Munguia,
For me, it's a great honor to be training Jaime Munguia
porque es la nueva cara del boxeo. Es un joven talentoso
Because he's the new face of boxing. He's a very young, talented fighter.
Es muy entregado, es 100% se concentra en lo que hace.
He gives everything in the ring. He concentrates 100% in what he does.
Y para nosotros, para mí es un reto porque también es un novato que tiene que trabajar muchas cosas y tenemos que mejorar bastante y hoy que tenemos enfrente un rival difícil,
For me, it's also a challenge because he is a novice who has to work a lot of things, and we have to prepare for this very tough opponent.
necesitamos muchos cambios, necesitamos mejorar. La meta es pelear con grandes peleadores y necesitamos mucho que hacer.
We have to make a lot of fixes and some changes. The goal is to one day fight against big fights and big fighters, and we have a lot of things to work on before that.
Pero estoy seguro que dará muchas satisfacciones a los mexicanos y será la nueva cara del boxeo en grande. Gracias.
I know that he will satisfy all the Mexican fans, and he will be the new face of Mexican boxing. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, Jaime Munguia is promoted by Sanfer Promotions out of Mexico, and we developed a partnership with Sanfer maybe about 2 years now, and it's been a great relationship. They probably have the best fighters in all of Mexico, and I want to bring up now the CEO and the owner of Sanfer Promotions. He's a good friend of mine, good friend of Oscar's, and has done a tremendous job with Jaime Munguia. CEO Fernando Beltran. Fernando.
Thank you, Eric. First of all, I would like to thank everybody for being here. This is a great kickoff of a great press conference. We know we have a good challenge in front of us. We respect Sullivan a lot. We know him. We've seen him fight before. He went the distance with Billy Joe Saunders. He knows how to fight, and he's a very great fighter. I think it's a very interesting fight between both guys. The difference between this fight and announcing this fight here in this sensational state and sensational city is that we are bringing two fighters who come to fight. Really come to fight. Their faces are going to be different after they walk out of the ring. Not that they can go modeling after fighting, or they're just going to be with the jab. These guys are really going to come to each other, and we know we're going to see a sensational bout of boxing. And that really motivates me, motivates us, and we know that this is a very big step, because if Jaime wants to be in the top middleweights, he needs to pass this test. We are very pleased with Eric Morales in his corner. We are very pleased with our strategic partnership with Golden Boy. We thank the DAZN, Tecate, and everyone who made this possible. And now I have the privilege, honestly, it's a real privilege to introduce to you the undefeated fighter from Tijuana, Mexico, the super welterweight champion, now doing a career in middleweight, the proud of Tijuana and the new face of boxing, and of course, who represents Mexico in a good way of fighting, Jaime Munguia.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes.
How's everybody? Good afternoon.
Bueno, pues primero que nada quiero dar las gracias a todos por asistir.
Before
todos los
anything,
medios,
I want to say thank you to everyone for being here, to all the media,
a mi empresa, Sanfer, Golden Boy, al equipo de Gary O'Sullivan,
to my promoters, Sanford Promotions and Golden Boy, the team of Gary O'Sullivan.
y pues más que nada me siento emocionado de estar peleando en San Antonio, Texas. Estoy teniendo una gran preparación para brindar una gran pelea.
More than anything, I'm very happy to be fighting in San Antonio, Texas. I'm doing a very great preparation in order to deliver a great fight.
Estoy emocionado por ahora haber subido a la división de las 160, donde se dicen estar, pues ahorita los peleadores más importantes, ahora sí que en el boxeo.
I'm also happy to be moving up to 160 pounds, where they say that some of the most important fighters in boxing are.
Creo que tengo un gran peleador enfrente de mí que es Gary O'Sullivan. Creo que es un gran reto, creo que es una gran pelea y pues para aspirar a pelear con los grandes peleadores en la 160 tengo que demostrar que estoy listo. Tenemos que empezar bien en la 160 y salir con la victoria.
I have a very tough fighter in front of me in the name of Gary O'Sullivan. It's very tough. And if I want those bigger fights, I have to demonstrate that I'm worthy of that against this guy. So I have to do my best in order to rise up in the rankings.
Pues muchas gracias a todos. Nos vemos aquí el 11 de enero a brindarles una gran pelea a todos. Viva México.
Thank you to all. We'll see you all here to deliver a great fight for Mexico. And Viva Mexico.
Okay, thank you very much, Jaime. That concludes the press conference. Again, I want to thank everybody involved. Alamodome, thank you very much, Steven. Greg, thank you for having us here in Texas again. We're going to pose the fighters. Remember, tickets are on sale. You can get them here at the box office at the Alamodome, or you can get them online at Ticketmaster. Thank you all for being here, and we'll pose the fighters now. Thank you.
My past is my present, baby. Yeah, I make decisions to glow. Ridiculous flow, potential to glow. You know, I just do that. Consolidate my regions, line it up, put them together. Anyone that ever let me down, forget them forever. My memory's bad. Remember me though? My memory's gone.